In this video, we will discuss 8 thoughts that can destroy relationships. Relationships can be a beautiful journey, but they can also be a battlefield of thoughts, some of which can be quite destructive. These thoughts can sneak into our minds subtly, and before we know it, they have the power to shatter even the strongest bonds. It's crucial to recognize these thoughts early on and confront them head-on, because after all, a healthy relationship begins with a healthy mind. Understanding these destructive thoughts is the first step in managing and overcoming them. The first destructive thought is the belief that your partner should read your mind. This mindset can be a relationship saboteur, creating confusion, resentment, and a chasm of misunderstanding. It's a fallacy to assume that love equates to telepathy. Just because someone cares for you deeply doesn't mean they can magically discern your thoughts or feelings without verbal cues. Believing that your partner should know what you're thinking without you saying it can lead to a lot of avoidable conflicts. You may feel unheard or neglected when your unspoken expectations aren't met, while your partner may feel unfairly judged for not knowing what they were never told. This expectation of mind reading is unrealistic and unfair. It undermines the fundamental principle of communication in a relationship. Clear, open, and honest dialogue is the lifeline of any relationship. It's crucial to express your thoughts and feelings openly to your partner, rather than expecting them to intuitively understand your silent signals. So, let's shift this destructive thought into a constructive one. Instead of thinking, "My partner should know what I'm thinking," let's start saying, "I need to communicate my thoughts clearly to my partner." Remember, your partner is not a mind reader. Open and honest communication is key. The second destructive thought is conditional love, often phrased as, "If they loved me, they would." This line of thinking is a breeding ground for resentment and disappointment. It creates expectations that, if not met, lead to feelings of rejection and betrayal. We start to measure love based on actions or behaviors that align with our own desires, rather than recognizing love in its many forms and expressions. Imagine if love was a garden. If we constantly condition its growth and blossoming on terms that satisfy only us, we limit its potential and ultimately, its beauty. Instead of appreciating the varied and vibrant flowers that naturally spring to life, we become obsessed with the absence of that one specific bloom we had in mind. This destructive thought pattern can blind us to the genuine gestures of love that don't fit our preconceived notions. It traps us in a cycle of discontent and undermines the very foundation of a healthy relationship: understanding, acceptance, and unconditional love. So let's challenge this thought. Let's cultivate a garden of love that thrives on respect, empathy, and appreciation for our partner's unique ways of expressing their feelings. Remember, love should never be conditional or based on fulfilling certain expectations. The third destructive thought is absolute thinking, often phrased as, "they never." This thought pattern can be incredibly damaging. It's a way of focusing on the negatives, exaggerating them until they blot out all the positives. When we say "they never," we're not just making a statement about a single event or behavior. We're creating a narrative, a storyline in which our partner is the villain, always failing us, always letting us down. But is this narrative accurate? Does it reflect reality, or is it a skewed perception born out of frustration, disappointment, or hurt feelings? When we step back and look at the situation objectively, we often find that "they never" is a gross overstatement. By indulging in this kind of absolute thinking, we're not giving our partner a fair chance. We're seeing them through the lens of our disappointments, rather than recognizing their efforts, their good qualities, their love for us. So how do we combat this destructive thought? It starts with awareness. Recognize when you're falling into the "they never" trap. Challenge this thought. Ask yourself if it's truly accurate or if you're letting your emotions cloud your judgment. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect. It's okay to feel disappointed or let down, but it's not okay to let these feelings distort your perception of your partner. Avoid absolute thinking. Everyone makes mistakes and nobody is perfect. The fourth destructive thought is another form of absolute thinking, often phrased as "they always." This mindset, similar to its counterpart "they never," is an exaggeration that amplifies the negative aspects of your partner. It's like looking through a distorted lens that only allows you to see the flaws, the mistakes, the shortcomings. Consider this. When you use "always" in your thoughts or discussions, aren't you overlooking the instances when your partner didn't display that particular behavior? This kind of thinking paints an unfair and unbalanced picture. It's like declaring that the sun always shines when we know it doesn't. There are cloudy days, rainy days, and even stormy days. Moreover, by focusing on the negatives, we are allowing the good moments to slip by unnoticed. The laughs shared, the affection expressed, the support given, they all become lost in the shadow of "they always." So let's take a step back. Let's take off those distorted glasses and see our partners for who they truly are. Remember, nobody is perfect. We all have our sunny and stormy days. Again, avoid absolute thinking. Focus on the positive aspects of your partner. The fifth destructive thought is conditional happiness, often phrased as "I'll be happy when." This thought, seemingly innocent, is actually quite insidious. It places your happiness on external factors, putting it out of your own hands. It's as if you're making your joy dependent on circumstances or people outside your own control. Imagine saying, "I'll be happy when my partner changes their annoying habits," or "I'll be happy when we buy that new house." Now, what happens if your partner's habits remain the same or that dream house slips through your fingers? Your happiness is suddenly held hostage by situations that may never come to pass. It's crucial to remember that happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. It's not something waiting for us at the end of a long road of trials and tribulations. It's something we cultivate within ourselves, regardless of our external circumstances. This thought pattern, "I'll be happy when," can be transformed into "I choose to be happy now, despite." This shift puts the power of your happiness back into your own hands, where it should have always been. Happiness should come from within, not from external factors. The sixth destructive thought is the desire to change your partner, often phrased as "if only they would change." This thought pattern can lead to a lot of tension and resentment in relationships. When you start to wish that your partner was different, you're essentially saying that you're not happy with who they are right now. This can leave your partner feeling inadequate or unloved, which can be very damaging to the relationship. This thought also implies that you believe you have the right to control or shape who your partner is. But remember, your partner is their own person with their own unique traits, experiences, and perspectives. Moreover, this thought can lead to disappointment. Change is a personal journey, and it's not something you can force on someone else. If your partner does decide to change, it should be because they want to, not because they feel pressured to. The key here is acceptance. It's about understanding and embracing your partner's individuality. It's about celebrating their strengths and supporting them in their weaknesses. It's about realizing that no one is perfect and that we all have our own quirks and idiosyncrasies. So instead of wishing for your partner to change, try to appreciate them for who they are. After all, it's their unique qualities that made you fall in love with them in the first place. Accept your partner as they are. Change should come from within, not from external pressure. To summarize, we discussed 8 destructive thoughts that can harm relationships. We delved into the dangers of expecting mind reading, placing conditions on love, generalizing with never or always, tying happiness to future conditions, and wishing for your partner to change. By recognizing and overcoming these destructive thoughts, you can foster a healthier and happier relationship. Please comment, share, and subscribe for more insightful videos like this one.